Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Cooking from My Couch, where I show you delicious recipes that are so easy you can make them while sitting down. Today we're going to make dumplings, and not just any dumplings, but spicy cumin lamb dumplings. I was inspired by the spicy cumin lamb noodles from Sichuan Famous Foods in New York City. And the reason I decided to make these is that I have these awesome sauces and spices from Jing. I'm actually partnering with them on this video because I love their chili oil and spices and sauces so much. And these dumplings are the perfect vehicle for utilizing all of the sauces that they have. From incorporating their mala spice mix into the mixture itself, and then topping the dumplings with their Sichuan chili crisp oil and Jing dumpling sauce. Seriously, such an amazing combination of flavors. It's bold, it's spicy, it's rich. There's also some fresh herbs. It just has literally everything you want in a dumpling, and I'm so excited to share it with you. So here we have our dumpling mixture. We've got a combination of ground lamb, zucchini, which is secret vegetables that also adds a lot of moisture and juiciness to our dumplings. Now, speaking of the excess moisture, one thing you want to do is use a cheesecloth to wring out some of the excess moisture from the zucchini before you add it to the rest of your filling. I forgot to do this for the video. I ended up having too much moisture in the filling, and it made it really difficult to fold my dumplings the first round. So don't make my mistake. Now, besides the zucchini, we're gonna add a ton of flavor. We've got sesame oil, light soy sauce, dark soy sauce, Chinese Shaoxing wine, there's the mala spice mix in there, cumin, of course, white pepper, chopped scallions, cilantro, fresh garlic, and fresh ginger. And it's all bound together by an egg. And so I mixed that mixture up with my hands. You really wanna get in there and just go for it. Make sure it's fully combined. And now we're going to fold. So one thing you definitely want to do whenever you make dumplings, you want to have a metal tray or some kind of platter or plate to place your folded dumplings on. And you want to have a wet kitchen towel or paper towels. I'm using this Hong Kong flag printed towel from this local company called Teresa's Turkish Towels. I'll link to it in the description below if you're interested. But what this does is that it keeps your dumpling wrappers from drying out. It will take you some time to fold everything. So in terms of how to fold them, we are going to take our dumpling wrapper. I'm going to cover this back up. And what you want to do is you want to wet the edges with some water. So make sure you have a bowl of water next to you. And what this is going to do is, because your dumpling wrappers are coated in flour, the water basically turns it into glue. And this is what's going to help you seal those edges. You want to really make sure that the edges are sealed. That way nothing escapes from your dumpling, and all that delicious flavor and ingredients and honestly pure love stays inside of your dumpling. So you want to take your dumpling, once you have the mixture in the middle, about a tablespoon. If you're still practicing, like I'm not amazing at folding dumplings, don't overstuff it. You want to make sure you have enough space to work with. So you basically are gonna fold it in half like a taco. And then I like to use my thumbs, some people use their index finger, but you basically just wanna fold in toward the middle and keep folding in. I usually do 3 pleats into the middle on one side and press to make sure it's sealed. And then 3 pleats on the other side. So I'm gonna go ahead and just pleat the rest of these dumplings, and then I'll show you how to pan fry them. So I was able to make 44 dumplings out of my mixture. You can see that the new ones definitely came out so much better. All right, now comes the fun part, pan frying our dumplings. So what you wanna have is a nonstick pan with a lid. You can either use the lid that it comes with. There's also like splatter screens or silicone lids that you use. So the idea is that we're gonna pan fry the bottoms, add some water, and then cover it so that you get a crispy bottom but a nice chewy top, since you will kind of steam the dumpling inside the pan. So I have about a 1/4 cup of oil. I'm gonna pour that into my pan. And you wanna get that oil over medium-high heat. So you wanna take your dumpling and press it into the oil and move them out. So you kind of form a circle of dumplings. And this is how you're gonna make sure you get a nice crispy bottom. Right, I like to kind of form a ring of dumplings. And if the oil is on one side, just kind of move it. Once you've pan fried them for 1 to 2 minutes, you can see that the bottom of the first dumplings have started to brown. What we're gonna go ahead and do is you wanna make sure you have your lid as like a shield. And you're gonna add about a 1/3 cup of water to your pan. And then immediately close the lid. And what this is gonna do is, again, you can see the steam building up. And this is going to steam the top of your dumplings so they stay nice and chewy, but then the bottoms of your dumplings will get nice and crispy. And we're gonna let this go for 3 to 4 minutes. You basically just wanna make sure all the water evaporates. Oh my gosh, I wish you could smell this. The aroma of the lamb is coming out. So a good way to tell is if you're still hearing some like crackling and bubbling, then the steam probably isn't done yet. And you can also take a just peek inside, and you can check and see if the dumpling skins on top have become translucent. That's how you know they're almost done. Wow. It looks so good. I'm gonna go ahead and open this guy up. Woo! And I may have added a little bit too much water. What you can do is, if you added too much water like I did, then you can just open up the lid and let that water evaporate out. You can see that the dumpling skins are nice and translucent and the bottoms are nice and crispy. Look at that. So I'm gonna go ahead and take these out. And you can see that the dumpling skins I used are so thin that you can see the color of the lamb from the outside. You can see into the dumpling. And what I like to do when I plate it is I like to show the bottoms of some of them. So we're gonna just turn over a couple of them, show off those crispy bottoms. All right, so I've gone ahead and plated my dumplings. I doused them in some of that Jing dumpling sauce, which has a bit of a sweetness to it and a ton of umami. There's seaweed powder, mushroom powder, spices, dried chili, Sichuan peppercorns. So there's a ton of goodness in there. And then I topped it with some of that Sichuan chili crisp oil, which has that spicy numbing flavor in it, as well as all that crunchy garlic and all those crunchy bits. And I think there's like soybeans. And then I also added some fried garlic and then scallions and cilantro for freshness. Again, if you don't like cilantro, you're welcome to remove it. If you ever had spicy cumin lamb noodles, then you will notice that they usually do add some cilantro, and that's because it really goes so well with the lamb, that rich lamb flavor. So I already know that these dumplings are amazing. I actually did a few test runs of this recipe to make sure it was fire. Yes, how is it?
Oh my god.
Party in my mouth. Party in my mouth.
Yes.
So you know that this is tried and true, but just to show you guys, here we got that dumpling. These are some of the best dumplings freaking ever. I personally just love that cumin lamb flavor. For whatever reason, lamb and cumin just go so well together, that earthiness with that rich kind of gaminess of lamb. And then you have all that spicy flavor, all that deep, deep, deep umami, and then some of the cilantro. For popcorn, Oh my god. And there's a little bit of sweetness from the Jing dumpling sauce. Well, I also added some black vinegar. That's a Chinese vinegar you usually have with soup dumplings. So that little bit of acidity also just really pulls everything together. You know, I covered these in a bunch of stuff. These are the plain undressed dumplings. So if you remember, we added some of that mala spice mix into the filling. Did you feel that crunch? Even plain, they're so flavorful. And again, you cannot even tell there's zucchini in here. So trust me, it'll add a bit of moisture to your dumplings, and it also, zucchini's a lot cheaper than lamb. It'll allow you to make a ton more dumplings than if you just use lamb. So if you want to try and make these dumplings, the full recipe is linked in the description below. And I've also linked to Fly by Jing's sauces. You can actually get 15% off your order when you use my code Indulgent Eats. So definitely make sure to take advantage. These sauces are incredible. You're gonna want to put them in everything. And stay tuned, I'm gonna be making more recipes and showing you guys how versatile the sauces and chili oils are. So stay tuned for that. Make sure to hit like and subscribe. Thank you so much and stay tuned for the next episode of Cooking from My Couch. Bye.